Episode 4 time, sir. Dad, let me explain. Aaron,
Yeah,
how you doing, man?
I'm doing really good.
We've been in high demand, man. A lot of people asking, when's the new episode dropping? When we're doing new content? What have you got? Anybody asking?
A lot of people at school were asking, when are we dropping the new episode?
Well, listeners, the wait is over. It is now time for episode 4 of Dad, Let Me Explain. We're back in the house with Mr. Aaron. We're back in the house with Dad. And we are going to get started. You excited?
Yeah.
Aaron, I'm 42. And when I was a kid, we had our own slang. You know what slang is?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So today, I'm going to say some words we used to say when I was growing up. And you tell me if kids your age would ever say that. Then you're going to explain your slang to me. You cool with that?
Yeah.
You got a lot of slang words you want to tell me today?
Yeah, I have a couple.
I'm kind of interested in hearing what you got to tell me. So when I was growing up, we used to use words like, that's sick, chill, whatever, no way. What do you think about those words?
I think we changed those words.
What do you mean we changed? Who's we?
My generation.
What is your generation? What does your generation say?
For that's cool, they say that's sick.
Okay, I just said that we used to say that's sick.
Oh. Well, we say the same thing.
Okay, so that's kind of like a generation, your generation, my generation saying kind of the same thing, right? So what words do kids say now that adults don't understand?
6, 7.
Oh boy. Why would you start with that one first of all?
Because that's the best one.
That's the best one to you?
Yeah.
What is 6, 7, man?
Just two numbers that a kid said during a basketball game. And there's a lot of edits about an NBA player that we've already talked about, LaMelo Ball, because his height is 6'7". He is 6 feet and 7 inches.
But he said when he was asked about his height, he said 6'5" or 6'7", and so that's where that little hand movement comes from.
Yeah.
Who do you think uses the word 6'7" the most? What age group?
Like the 6-year-olds.
The 6-year-old. Well, you're 10, so you shouldn't be using 6'7", right?
Yeah.
Oh, so let me ask you a question. If I went to school and I started saying 6'7", 6'7", how do you think that would go?
Disaster.
Why disaster?
All the first graders and the second graders are gonna sprint to you and start going 6'7", 6'7", 6'7".
That's what happens when we use it in the basketball game.
Huh?
That's what happens when we use it in the basketball games.
Yeah.
So if I would use the word, or I would use it saying that's wild, like if something is wow, that's wild. What would in your generation? What would you use instead of saying, my God, that was a wild shot in basketball? What would you say?
That was a crazy shot.
That was a crazy shot. That doesn't seem like it's far off from what we would say.
Cause they're both synonyms of the same thing. That's why they mean the closely the same thing.
Bro, what is? I'm 42 years old. I haven't been to school in Lord knows how long. What is a synonym?
Two words that mean the same thing or close to the same thing.
That's a synonym?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for giving me a school lesson because, like I said, I haven't been to school in years.
Many years. That's why Mom helps me with my homework.
What do you mean, bro?
You haven't been to school in when did you go to high school?
Ooh,
Or
from the
college for a little bit?
2000s, man.
2000s? And how old were you?
When I left high school, I was 19 years old, 18 years old, something like that, because I was at Walmart when I was 17. So, yeah, 18 years old.
Give me a second to do the math. 32 years.
I don't know the map.
32, 34, something
I don't know
like that.
I don't know. I'm not fact checking that, but I think you're just trying to call me old again.
I might.
All right, so listen, since we established that I have some age on me already, right? I don't think 42 is that old, but hey,
It's not that old.
It's not that old, right? I can still whoop you in basketball, so I'm not that old. I want to ask you a couple of your terms or your slangs or the sayings that you guys say nowadays. I want to ask you about this one in particular.
Which one?
Sus.
Sus? It means weird.
Okay. So how would you use sus in a sentence?
That was a sus basketball move.
That was a sus basketball move? So I want to ask you a question, but I want to ask you a question based on 2 words. kind of interesting words that I hear you kids say a lot. So you say sus is weird, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna use these two words in a sentence, and you let me know if I'm right or I'm just absolutely wrong. All right. So I'm gonna say I just ate some sus pizza, but boy was it bussin'.
Yeah, you kind of did it right. You should say like I ate a sauce burger because it probably had like pineapples, like pineapples on the burger, like pineapples on pizza and pineapples on burger is kind of sus.
Really? What about the word you use a lot? I really want you to explain this to me and explain it to the audiences because you say this word so much. And I'll be honest with you, it's just freaking annoying. And I see you cracking up over there. I see you laughing. I see you saying the word before I even say the word. Okay, so yes, you know the word that's gonna come out of my mouth
Can
right
I
now.
say the word?
Can you say the word? Tell the listeners the word that I'm about to ask you without even me having to tell you what the word is because that's how much you say that word.
It's bet. The word's bet.
Okay, so listen. Now that we established the word bet, what is bet? And I really need you to make me understand this because boy, oh boy, do you say bet a lot. And the only bet I know is like my buddies know is you bet on a parlay. That's the only bet I know. So what in the world is bet?
Bet is like 100%. I'll do it right now, or I'll do it soon, or it just means I'm gonna do it soon or now or whenever.
So when I tell you, Aaron, go take out the trash, and you tell me bet.
If I say bet I'll do it later, it's later. If I say bet I'll do it right now, then I'm gonna go do it right now.
Okay, so when I ask you to take out the trash, you better say bet I'm gonna do it right now because I don't want to hear bet I'm gonna do it later.
Okay.
So we spoke about bet. Now I used a sentence with two words, and you really didn't tell me anything about the other word. Talk to me about bussin'. What is bussin'?
It means it was like amazing. It was really good. Like it was really tasty.
Okay, and then what will be kind of a word that's not bussin'? If you would say something was not that good, what word would you use?
It was mid.
Really?
Yeah.
Mid, like middle?
No, like it was okay.
Okay, so give me a sentence with mid.
The pizza was mid that I only come once a month.
Oh, mid. So if something is mid, it's really not good. So like if they say, "Dad, let me explain," podcast is a really mid podcast. Which is what?
It's not.
The Dad, let me explain podcast is a bussin' podcast.
Yes.
If you went up to your teacher and told your teacher that was a bussin' lesson, do you think your teacher will understand what you're telling her, or you have to explain to her?
I think we might have to explain to her
Why would you think that?
because not many teachers know that much of this new slang.
Okay. If you were gonna tell your teacher that's a bussin' lesson because it was a really good lesson, how would you tell her? How would you go up to your teacher and tell her that's a bussin' lesson? Because obviously you said bussin' is really good, right? That's what
Yeah.
I don't know what bussin' is. You're explaining to me what bussin' is. But if the teacher did a bussin' lesson, how would you tell her? How would you explain to her?
I would tell her that was a busing lesson, and if she asks me what does that mean, I'm gonna say that was a really good lesson.
So if I would in my day you said you still use this as well, but that test was sick for real. How would she respond if you tell her that test was sick for real?
I think she would look at me like, what do you mean by the test was sick? I don't think nobody would say a test was sick because nobody really likes tests.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. So there's no reason to tell the teacher that test was sick. So, do you think kids will laugh at my slang if they hear it?
They're gonna give you weird looks. They're gonna be like, what are you talking about?
But why do you think so? Why do you think they won't understand what I'm saying? The words that I asked you a little while ago are not that different than some of the words you say now. Obviously, I don't say bet. I don't say sus. But back in the day, I would say, that's awesome, sweet, cool, that's sick, chill. Some of those words I still hear you saying, no?
Yeah, but some of them, the kids are gonna look like, what do you mean by that? Because they're not gonna know about your slang.
Okay, so so some of these words: cool, sweet, awesome, dude, that's sick, chill, whatever, no way, for real, that's wild. What do you think some of the words that I just gave you right now, some of those words, if the kids hear it nowadays, what do you think they'll use and what do you think they won't use?
So they will change dude into bro.
I used to say bro a lot too.
That's sick. I think they'll say that's sick or that's crazy.
Uh-huh.
Awesome. I think they'll say bussin because that kind of means like perfect or really good.
Okay.
Sweet, they probably still use that because like all candy is sweet, so they would probably use that. Cool, they would use that. That's sick. I already said they would use that. Chill, yeah, they would use that. Whatever, yeah, they'll use that. No way, trying to think of one that they might do of no way because I think there's one for no way. For no way, they would say nah, bro. For real, they would probably say FR. That's just the abbreviations of it, and that's wild. They would probably say that's sick or crazy.
Okay. Well, not too much different than what we used to say back in the day. Obviously, I gotta keep it PG. So some of the words we used to say back in the day, we can't say on Dad Let Me Explain podcast because this is a kid-friendly show.
Yeah.
And to all my
It'll
listeners out
always be
there,
a kid-friendly
it'll
show.
always be a kid-friendly show. And all my listeners out there that grew up with me know some of the words I used to say back in the day, I cannot say on this podcast, and I will not say on this podcast because, again, I don't want it to get taken down. Why do you think slang words change so much from generation to generation? Why do you think, obviously, we had some that are kind of the same, but why do you think some of the words change so much?
Because kids nowadays, they're trying to make everything as short and as easy as possible to say.
And why is that?
Because your slang, they were a little bit longer, and usually people would use slang to just talk to somebody in like one or two words, so they would shorten it so they can say it faster. Like if there's someone that you're walking past and you want to answer to like a question they told you, you would probably use one of the slangs from now because they make it shorter.
Well, give me an example.
Like if they say the hallway is so colorful, while they're walking past you, you can just say FR because that stands for real.
Oh. When you hear a new slang word from your generation or maybe on TV, where do you think it comes from?
I don't know. I think just one person said it and people kind of like liked what it sounded like and they made a definition for it and then just people started using it.
Is that like a meme? Does that mean it's a meme or it's two different things that we're talking about?
Two different things.
Okay.
Like 6'7" can be a slang and a meme, but 6'7" doesn't have a meaning, so it's more of a meme than a slang.
Okay. And what makes it a meme?
It just being more popular than a slang.
Okay, so it has to tie into like a video or a concept or a picture or something?
Yeah, like there's a meme where it's a picture of a capybara wearing like a hoodie and some sweatpants, and it was called Chill Guy. Like that just got super popular and people called it a meme.
Oh, what in the world's a chill guy?
I have no idea.
But it's a meme. It's popular.
Yeah.
Tell me a couple other popular memes.
In the Drake Hotline Bling, he does like two different faces, and that got really popular too.
What do you mean he got a couple more faces? What does
Like
that mean?
he did two faces that were really popular.
What are you
in
doing?
The video.
What are you doing with your hands, bro?
The faces or the thing that he made.
I really wish
the thing that he did.
I really wish the listeners could see you right now doing all this crazy stuff with your arms. That was part of the Drake meme.
Yeah.
And what is it, like
That
a
was
dip?
I have no idea. It just got popular. Like most memes,
Okay.
there's just like no reason because it got popular. It just did get popular.
So it just came out of the blue.
Yeah.
What do you like better, using slang words or talking about memes?
Memes.
Why is that?
Because there's just a lot more variety that you can choose from.
Oh, interesting. What do you think the most famous meme is?
Last year or this year?
Whichever one you can remember.
6'7".
6'7". All right, we already know about 6'7". Give me another one.
So we spoke about 6'7". We spoke about Chill Guy. There's another one that I want to speak about.
Which one is that one, Bobby?
Doge. It's a super popular dog that got popular. I don't know why it got popular. Maybe because it's a really cute dog.
Really?
Yeah.
I know Doge. I believe it's because of a crypto coin. So crypto coin it's another type of currency.
Yeah, that's what 6-7 made one too. They have their own crypto coin too.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe that's something we need to talk about one day here. Do you know
Okay.
Do you know a lot about crypto?
Not really.
I don't know.
I just know that they have a lot of money in
I
it.
don't know anything about crypto, man. Not at all. What would you think will sound really old in 20 years?
Bet.
Bet?
Yeah.
I think so too. I think it's getting old right now.
Yeah, people are gonna probably think you're talking about like Bet and GM.
Exactly. Or Hard Rock Bet.
Yeah.
So that's why I say maybe we shouldn't use bet that much, but that's one of your favorite words. So it is what it is. What slang do you think adults should stop using?
Oh, that's a hard one. I really think that no adult should stop using their slang.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
Cause that's theirs that they grew up with. Why should they have to change to ours?
Is there any word you wish adults understood better?
6-7.
6-7?
Nobody understands it.
Well, I think just
No
everyone.
adults.
I honestly think everyone's annoyed for 6-7. It's just every time the kids say 6-7 at basketball, or they want to make the basketball team 6-7ers, it's just the parents look at me like, please, not again. So 6-7. Oh boy. Another really good podcast. I had a really good time. What about you?
I also had a really good time.
I think this was fun. It was nice. It was something that we can connect to. I can connect. You can connect. Our listeners connect, young and old. So appreciate your time. And to the listeners out there, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're on YouTube. We have an Instagram page, and we also have a TikTok page. Go follow us on social media. Go support us. Come take this ride with us, this journey with us. I hope you like this episode. And as always, until the next episode of Dad Let Me Explain, Aaron.
Peace.